You. The line ends there. We have, given the time, we can't go beyond. Thank you.
Andrew Cannon from CVM News. I note page 27 of the manifesto, you seem to be rather optimistic about getting investments in what you call major projects, such as the $5 billion in casino and Vernon Field expansion and Fort Augusta and all that kind of thing. Given the state of the global economy right now in terms of outlook and that kind of thing, what's the basis of your optimism in these mega investment projects?
Well, some of these investments span different ministries, so some of my colleagues can join me on this. But we are challenged clearly by the global environment because it speaks to demand and your capacity to supply. And that's what really drives viable enterprise. And therefore, it has to be an ongoing assessment of that environment. However, having said that, the more challenging the global environment is, the more it becomes necessary for you to be very targeted in your focus, be very scientific in your approach, and leverage the advantages that you naturally have, supported by the framework that the Prime Minister spoke of earlier. Take the issue of ICT as a case in point. We landed a fairly large investor a week ago, Converges. Our assessment of the ICT marketplace is that the challenges in the global economy is actually forcing companies that are located in the developed markets where cost of production is high to relocate to markets like Jamaica where they can get a discount on that overall cost of production. Converges, for example, is located not just in North America, but they are located in Asia. There are 5 million ICT seats in India as we speak, serving North America. Many of those investors are looking for a nearshore investment location as part of their cost containment, but also as part of the cultural complement between themselves and the markets that they're serving. Jamaica is extremely naturally and comfortably poised based on its location to North America, based on the English language, and based on its cost considerations to shift some of those jobs from India or the Philippines to our location to serve North America. In other words, the downside with the economy in North America is actually facilitating a demand for that type of industry in countries like Jamaica. That's just an example I'm giving you. In other words, we have to do that level of assessment, and it's on that basis we feel that we have a significant advantage.
Just in supporting what Chris just said, already one of the largest shipping companies in the world made a $100 million investment in our port. That was done during the recession. I just want to put a point that we should all consider. If you were to look at global FDI, Jamaica only really needs 1% of that. Just 1%. So the potential for us to get investment, regardless of what is happening globally, still exists. We must go out and prospect, find them.
I see that you have given away your space.
No, he hasn't. No, I was before him, but I was sitting. Yes, Hope Tenakana Denny, Associated Media Network. Minister Shaw, buoyed from your recent debate successes and your recent JDX successes, and you're embarking on a central management as outlined in page 19 of the manifesto. Could you state if it's possible that savings already accrued from JDX and also from the central management, which you have proposed to get from the central management program when it comes on stream, would that be able to provide some temporary employment and possibly help with, to alleviate the employment situation which the government is being battered by the opposition about? Thank you.
Well, the savings from the Jamaica Debt Exchange has averaged just over $30 billion on an annualized basis. on the budget. And so it has allowed for more fiscal space to do other things. In fact, when in 2006-2007 fiscal year, the debt servicing cost as a percentage of the budget was in the order of about 58%. And in the first full year of the debt exchange, the debt servicing as a percentage of the budget had dropped to 47%, which is a significant drop of 11%. And since that time, it hovers in the region of just about 50%. And so that is a significant savings that has allowed space to be able to accommodate other critical expenditure items in the budget. In regard to the Central Treasury Management System, that is still a work in progress. However, we have already seen some nominal savings in the method of payments, for instance, to public sector workers on a monthly basis. The system of payments has changed, and it allows for easier reconciliation. It also avoids duplication in pay, because believe it or not, that sort of inefficiency used to happen. And it also allows for a shorter time of the government's money being tied up in accounts all over the place, and we're losing interest as a result of that. So it has already led to savings in the order of hundreds of millions of dollars, but the Treasury Management System is still at an early stage, and it is going to be rolled out during the course of the next fiscal year.
Hi, my name is Robert Winter, Gleaner columnist part-time. This is for Dr. Tufton, and it's general about the manifesto. I'm sure your achievements were not by sudden flight, but while you're toiling, I'm sure you formulated strategies within a context of certain targets to where you want to go. Your failure to put major targets will prevent us from holding you accountable, say over the next 2 or 3 years. Based on this, to what should we hold you accountable? At the end of the 5 years or 2 years down the line?
Well, the context of the manifesto was to articulate a general vision, but also some very specific initiatives that we believe can be determined on as we go through the term. For example, if we say we are going to put in effect casino legislation to allow for casinos to be established in Jamaica, and I recall also speaking about second quarter, third quarter, I know it wasn't stated in the document, but I did mention some timelines. Insolvency laws, the credit bureau. It seems to me that those are specific enough for you to hold us accountable on. As it filters down to the respective ministries and as the administration begins in the new term, the specificities of those and the timelines, I think, will become more apparent. I would say, however, in the interest of transparency and practicality, the Prime Minister is very clear that he doesn't want to say without say specific if there are variables that are outside of our control. I mean, any well-thinking and objective Jamaican must admit that we have to confront an external environment that will have an impact. We believe we can manage, and we have articulated on issues that we think we can manage on, and we have stated some specific initiatives. We believe that has offered or should offer to the Jamaican people sufficient for them to hold us on as we move into the second term.
Thank you. I would like to, yes, Prime Minister.
Very important point to address, and I feel that the need to address it. The Jamaica Labour Party has put great thought into the preparation of the manifesto, and constantly we are challenged by a frame. It is the intention of the Jamaica Labour Party to break the frames that we have been tried to be boxed in. To say that there are no targets is absolutely untrue. Quality, it's not just quantitative. Quality is more so a qualitative issue. Do people believe they are better off? At the end of the 5 years after this election, there will be a time for judgment. So whether or not we state it in our manifesto, come the next 5 years, as we are doing now, reflecting on the 5 years or the 4 years past, there will be judgment. We are prepared to be judged. When we put in our manifesto that by 2015, we want to see 100% of our students literate at the primary level, at least at grade 4, that's a qualitative and a qualitative target. We are very close to it. We may not achieve the 100%, but the public will judge. How far along that target of quality and quantity did you get? So I don't want the frame to be set for us. And for many years, the Labour Party has been very passive in breaking the falsehoods that have been used to frame our policies.
Thank you. I'd like to place on record our thanks to Generation 2003-2K, its President, Mr. Delano Seawright, and its members for the support they gave to Dr. Tufton's Manifesto Committee. I'd like to thank the Prime Minister, Dr. Tufton, and all the ministers who are here to answer your questions. I hope you enjoy reading the document. It contains better policies of better quality. It is the better way forward. I thank you.